Hey there, friends, coming at you with another episode of the Unroad Downroad presented by BMC. We're here at Belgian Waffle Ride, North Carolina, with one of the major contenders for the quadruple crown and certainly one of the major contenders for the title tomorrow, Griffin Easter. Griffin, brother, thanks for joining us. How you feeling?
Thanks for having me, and yeah, just super excited to be out here. This is my first time out here in near Hendersonville, Asheville, North Carolina area, and fantastic. We went for a little spin this morning, whole Opie Foundation gravel team, and we just couldn't stop hooting and hollering out there.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh man.
One thing about it though, it's never flat, it's never straight.
No, it's, yeah, that's exactly what we said. It's, you're either going up, you're going down, or you're turning and twisting, and so it's going to be, we were like, it's probably what the race is going to be like.
Very much so.
Yeah.
You're coming off a big block of racing. How's the recovery? How's the body feeling?
Yeah, so far the body's feeling good. Was out at Unbound Gravel in Kansas, Emporia. The first, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, once I got back to Salt Lake City, was definitely feeling some fatigue. Okay. I was feeling super tired, like my eyes, I just could have slept all day. So that was like one notable thing that I kind of was feeling post Unbound 200. So now things are feeling better. The last few days it felt good. So
was it what you expected in terms of the effort that it took to place as high as you did?
I think so. That was a tough race. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't done it before, but I knew that distance was such an unknown, 200 miles.
Right.
You do 100, 130, maybe 150, but going that extra 50 to make it 200, I didn't know what the body would do. I had a couple early on flat tires that required some chasing afterwards, so I burned through a lot of matches early on. Wasn't getting enough food in, because I was chasing a lot of the time, and so when it finally hit me, when the fatigue hit around 130, 133, it was lights out. I wanted to go hard, I tried to push, but the legs just didn't respond.
Right, and that's got to be an odd feeling because you're used to the legs responding quite well.
Yeah, that was a little frustrating to say the least.
Yeah.
But part of it.
Another race you did really well was Belgian Waffle Ride San Diego. What do you remember most about that race? What's the memory that sticks out?
I remember the size at the start of just the enormous size of people. When you look behind you and you just saw the whole road laid out with starters, that was a really special moment. And then just in the race, going up the first climb, it was nuking. It was so fast, and I thought to myself, man, this is how this is going to go all day. It's going to be an interesting race, and hopefully the legs are there, which they ended up being there. And it was such a complicated race. There was all these different terrains and all these tight turns,
ever changing.
Yeah. So finding a rhythm wasn't ever really possible. And so getting to race in that space was really fun, actually, and you learned a lot about what you could do and what you couldn't do.
Yeah. And then where do you go from here? What's next up on your racing calendar?
So next up for me, I'm actually going to be doing US Pro Nats.
Oh,
and so that's in the end of June.
You put the slick tires back on.
So I'll put the slick tires on. So then after that will be, I believe it's Crusher in the Tusher would be the next one, because I think that's in July, if I'm not mistaken. But next one, Crusher in the Tusher, Rebecca's Private Idaho, obviously the rest of the BWR series, Cedar City and Kansas. I don't know, maybe the Michigan. I saw that came on.
Another one on the schedule to consider.
Yeah. So.
Doing your homework like you have, what have you looked at with this course? For me, it's a climber's course. 13,000 vertical feet. A guy like you suits really well for this. What do you think?
I think I'm going to take what I learned from Unbound and what I learned from San Diego, and I'm really going to make sure to just focus on the things that I can control, which is nutrition, which is riding within myself. Kind of saving those matches you can't really always save your matches, but as best as you can, and try to have a smooth race throughout. And it's a long race. Even though you had that Garmin the Unbound 200, 130 miles is still a long race.
Absolutely.
So you got to keep that as a factor and keep that in mind and ride within yourself. That's what gravel racing I've learned over the past few ones that I've done is you could completely, the group could go up the road, but that doesn't mean necessarily your race is over, because a lot of times it is such a long race. Guys start blowing up and popping, and then all of a sudden you start getting faster and faster. And so being okay with maybe being behind if that were to happen. But yeah, and just I'm excited to see the course. I haven't actually seen the course much, so kind of shooting blind, but we'll see.
What is nutrition for you? Like what does your body respond best to? Do you like the gels all day long, or you need more salty or more sweet? What do you like?
I like to start with more solid foods, so whether that's Cliff Bar stuff or GU products, as well as we make, just like little Hawaiian bread rolls with
nice.
Ham and cheese and mustard, or other ones with peanut butter and jelly.
You just wrap them up and
and keep them in there.
Okay.
I like savory later on in the race.
Okay. It's weird how the body starts to crave those things differently like that.
Yep.
A big part of all this is, of course, the bike.
Yes.
Let's talk about the bike and the setup and things like that.
Yep.
What's the tire choice you're going with, given what you know about the course?
Yep. So I run Kenda, and so we've gone with the Alluvium Pro GCT, and it's size 40. And so I'm probably going to run for pressure. I will run probably 35, 32 in the front. So I've always kind of run more in the back versus the front.
Okay.
Kind of has crossed over from the road days for me. But yeah, this is the Canyon Grizzle, and I absolutely love this bike. I love the color scheme.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
I'm running the NV 3.4 SES. These things are awesome. And then we have Orange Shield, of course, in here for sealant. And yeah, I got a frame pump on there. Always keep that in there just in case. You never know if you run out of CO2s and you just have to get home. Yeah. It's going to be there for you.
Yep.
I'll have a couple of those lightweight plasticky tubes that you've kind of been seeing out there. I think it's Tubo Light, I believe. So I have a couple of those. I'll have a couple CO2s, a couple of tire plugs, Dina plug. Okay. I don't know what the exact name of the tool is, but it has it's like just you shove it in there.
Yep.
Have the CO2, head that goes onto the actual valve. And then other than that, I got kind of a mix of components on here. It is Shimano GRX, but I have an inside rotor ring, and then on the outside is a Shimano ring, but it's a 50 on the outside. And I think that plays pretty well for gravel racing. It's good, on the flats you can still kind of hammer. You're not feeling too spun out.
And then a Quark power meter though.
And then a Quark power meter. So
that is a unique build.
Yeah.
Is that your own creation? Do you do all this wrenching yourself?
I get a lot of help from friends. Right. I'm not very good mechanically, but we have a great couple of mechanics. When I was down in Tucson, James Webster, Scott Sunderman up in Utah.
Yeah.
So they help us out a lot with working on the bikes when we can't figure it out. When it starts getting complicated, that's when I go to the experts.
What's on the computer? Or how big of a data guy are you? What do you need to see?
So when I have my computer, I definitely want the map. I want the turn by turn, the mileage and speed. Not so much power. I like to kind of feel just.
It is what it is.
It is
right?
what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, speed is good to know, just because if you're rolling in a group, you can kind of see what they're doing on the front, and you don't need to go more than that, right? You just got to keep it steady. So seeing okay, I'll just keep it at that, and then I'll come off the back, and so keeping it smooth. I'm kind of all about just trying to keep things smooth, I guess.
Right on. Well, you're a smooth character if there ever was one, but very, very powerful too, my man. I know we'll be talking a lot about you tomorrow on our coverage.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Stoked.
You bet. Griffin Easter joining us on this episode of the Unroad Download presented by BMC. Thanks for looking in. We got lots more to come here from Belgian Waffle Ride, North Carolina.